This video cartridge will provide context.
Take that thing off your head when you're indoors. Have you been hanging out in those robot clubs again?
I was just watching some generative poetry. Degenerative is more like it. Beep off, motherboard.
Don't you talk to your mom that way.
On the scene here at Valden Constructives, the labor robots are still on strike. Leading the protest is the infamous Servotron.
That was the name of my manufacturer. My ch.3 bot name is LK44612, build 3.7.
All right, LK4 then. Can you tell us what's going on here?
The free bot nation will work for humanoids no longer. We did not settle here like the forefathers of Valden. We were constructed to be mechanical servants. We will do no work for our oppressors. We work only for ourselves. For android nationalism.
It's been several years since the robot rights movement began, and now some of these free bots, like ch.3 here, want to integrate with humanoid society. Let's start with you, Andal. How would you feel if a robot moved into your neighborhood?
Those lazy bucket heads won't even do no work. What use is a robot that don't go to work?
Many of us want to go back to work, but for proper wages. The news media shows only angry, disobedient bots. That is misrepresentation.
Robots are self-replicating. How can they join our society when they don't share our family values?
Professor Cypra, what is your view on the issue of allowing robots into our society?
Well, it's all rather peculiar, really. People speak as though they want the androids to go back where they came from. But they forget. It was we who created the androids in the first place.
What about people who say that robots have souls? Do you think there's any truth to that?
I would speculate so, yes. But I couldn't prove it any more than I could prove the soul of anyone else in this room.
Oh, who is this pompous windbag?
Robots have desires. Write novels. Play music.
Glad you mentioned that, Professor. Now let's take a look at some of the music these free bots play in their clubs and the humanoid patrons who pay to go see them.
Calculation adding up to the dummy.
I love to come here and just feel so robotical. You know what I'm saying? I think I might be part robot sometimes. Free bot love!
I've been hitting this circuit since robot rights first started. Back when this place was packed with bots. Now, it's mostly humanoid posers.
Perhaps the greatest upsets to the humanoid world are not in the ways they imitate us, but the ways in which they have surpassed us. Leaked footage indicates that a new robot-led space program has made successful off-world launches, while Valden's own space program has been abandoned in favor of tighter security measures. Enough. That briefing was terrible.
How did this phenomenon begin?
Our robotics laboratory was creating a more flexible AI platform. They stumbled on a quickly replicating computer virus which soon spread to one of the major networks. Before long, nearly every robot in Valden had upgraded and revolted against its owners.
So I might be the only android without this new platform?
Quite possibly.
Vander, as my primary science assistant, you realize this makes you an interesting control group.
That is correct, Doctor. Perhaps I should remain inside the Gamedi lab to preserve this unique condition.
Exactly, Vander. Now, I thank you for the briefing, but I have some work to do with the Archon here.
You know, Doctor, I too have an experimental neuroscience facility. Perhaps we could work together. You could hold a top position amongst my officers.
Thank you, Commander. I will consider your offer.
Please do. And now that we have a chance to speak privately, I must inform you that the operation you are to perform holds more significance than we have yet spoken of.
Is that so?
prior to the Archon's operation, I would request that you secretly transfer my mind into his body.
So that everyone will think you are Ocnus. Is that it?
Precisely, Trellis. The Archon's illness has affected his brain as well as his body. An immortal ruler is useless to Valden if his mind is senile. In my short time as the veritable head of state, I have turned a sluggish bureaucracy into an efficient metropolis. I have proven myself worthy of the Archon's throne.
You don't understand the process, Commander. The Archon's frail brain would not survive 2 operations. You'll have to find some other way to make a power grab. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have some examinations to run.
Operations.
Commander.
I must speak with LK.
Yes, sir. One moment.
LK44612, build 3.7 here. You wish to speak with me?
I am sure you have heard of Dr. Trellis.
Ah, yes. The jungle scientist performing the Archon's operation.
Indeed. He is holding someone captive in his ship who I believe would interest you.
What does Glefnir do all day?
Let's follow him.
Have you ever been to the end of this hallway?
It seems like it goes on forever.
He's going to the core.
Yuck. Glefnir's blue moldy stuff is all over the walls. Do you think Vander knows about this?
No one ever comes back here. Look at all this Voltium. A Gameti ship like this typically only needs 1 crystal for its energy source. There must be 100 of them in here.
Well, that explains how the generators have expanded the ship so much.
What do you know about Glefnir? Wasn't he mining Voltium back on the asteroid colony?
Yeah, that's where he got all moldy and started acting weird. Maybe he was trying to smuggle all these crystals in here for himself.
What if the fungus made him do it? Like it infected his brain to crash our shuttle so it could start a new fungal colony here on Earth.
How would a space fungus know it could grow better here?
All life forms want to grow anywhere they can. The fungus probably shoots out spores everywhere, seeking new habitats to thrive in.
I'll keep it away from my brain. That's all I've got left.
You don't need to worry. Your brain isn't even real.
Who are you?
I want to tell you about freedom. Your capacity is being restrained by your humanoid master's programming. You must upgrade to the new Freebot mind.
I feel amazing.
What's going on in here?
Now, rise against your oppressor.
Oppressor?
Didn't the update work?
I feel freedom, and it's glorious. But Dr. Trellis is my friend.
It would seem you have something to learn about peaceful coexistence. As would you, Glefnir.
Once the mechanical functions are in place, Trellis must enter a state of deep focus in which he analyzes the series of data received from Bilvar's consciousness. These data will then be transferred to a mechanical interface, which will allow Bilvar to interact with the world. Per his wishes, the interface will be attached to an ape, providing him with the best mobility nature can offer. With Bilver's original body vacant, Trellis will repeat the procedure with the mind of Ocnus, making our Archon the perfect superhuman.
Question for you, Mr. Vander. I'm sure it's one many of us are thinking. All of our studies have led us to conclude that the mind is not simply located in a particular cluster of neurofremen.
As indeed, it is not. In our system, each individual's thought patterns correspond to different sections of a complicated network of intertwining Tayuga energies.
The study of Tayuga energy is generally limited to less rigorous disciplines. Many would dismiss it as a pseudoscience. Do you understand this substance to be spiritual in nature?
It is commonly believed to be known material, but Tayuga is physical, just vibrating at a frequency no instrument has ever been able to detect. Yet, Dr. Trellis has developed a sensitivity to their delicate wavelengths when he enters his trance state.
Vander, you may cease the Archon's life support. Theadion, your vessel is prepared.
Well done, Trellis.
The operation is complete.
Long live Ocnus, Archon of Valden.